A fork is a repository that is linked to the main Thorium repository, but that you own entirely. You'll use this repository to make all of your changes, which can then be merged back into the main repository. Go to the Thorium repository at github.com/thoriumsim/thorium and click the fork button. Make sure that you're logged in as your GitHub user when you click the fork button, and it will fork Thorium. After a couple of minutes, you'll have your own Thorium repository on GitHub. Now, we need to clone your Thorium repository to your computer. Open up your terminal or command line, and navigate to whatever folder you want your Thorium repository to go. And then type git clone and the address of wherever your fork is. You can find that in this clone or download button, and the easiest is to clone with HTTPS, but if you know what you're doing, you can use SSH as well. And that's going to take all of the data and code and files for Thorium and download it to your computer. And now we can see that's right here on our desktop. One thing to make sure is that you clone your own repository and not the main one. Otherwise, you won't be able to push your changes up to GitHub. Once that's done, in your terminal, navigate into the Thorium folder. It's time to install dependencies with npm. On Mac and Linux computers, this is easy. Just run npm install, and it will install all of the dependencies for the entire project, including the separate dependencies that the server and the client folder need. If you're on a Windows computer, you'll have to install 3 times. Once in the main folder by running npm install, and then you'll have to do it in the client folder by doing cd client and then npm install again, and then once again in the server folder by going cd:/server, and then npm install finally, and then finally go back to the main Thorium folder. Now that that is done, we can start Thorium up. To start the client and the server at the same time, just run npm start. It will take a little while to compile all of the code, but when it does, you'll have your own version of Thorium running on your computer. Once Thorium has completely loaded and compiled, it should automatically open in your web browser.